Yeah, it's Hot 104.1, St. Louis' source for hip-hop and R&B. Your dirty boy 8+ in this thing, St. Louis, Illside, St. Charles. And right now I have one of our very own in the building. To be exact, I have such a boss lady in the building with me right now, man.
Hey, St. Louis.
St. Louis, I have your very own Aris in here with me right now. Aris, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course, man. Now, I know you didn't move to the Big Apple, you know what I'm saying? You've been definitely making waves, doing your thing up there. Of course, in addition to suchabosslady.com,
yes.
Other business ventures have been popping for you. And first off, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So definitely, let your listeners and your family know what's going on.
So, like you said, my name is Aris. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I moved to New York about 4 years ago. And in transition, I've had the opportunity to work with Bad Boy, Universal, Def Jam, Mona Sky Young, and the Love and Hip Hop Empire. And right now I'm currently working with Complex Media. But outside of me working on the corporate side and working with all the big companies, I have my own business, which is suchabosslady.com, which is an entertainment website that focuses on the behind the scenes of the entertainment industry, because during those different times where I was working in different places, I've seen so much. And like being from St. Louis, you don't really have that exposure. So I decided to start a brand rather that will educate people and inform them on how to be in the entertainment industry or how to maneuver through the entertainment industry. And it has been very challenging to like have my own business as well as like working with huge companies, but I'm finding my way and navigating through it.
I mean, while it's challenging, I'm sure it's enlightening at the same time.
Yes,
It's definitely, trial and error comes with anything you do.
Definitely.
On the road to success. Now, you say you work with Complex. Tell me about this Complex Con y'all got going on in November. It's in Long Beach, right?
Yeah, that's right. So Complex Con will be in Long Beach, California.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of big surprises, which I can't talk about.
Of course.
It is something that you want to be at, especially if you want to be in the entertainment industry. There will be like music performances. There'll be huge brands that you can go meet with. You can rub shoulders with pretty much anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely want to be there if you want to work in entertainment, because if I could tell you this lineup, you would be blown away. But I can't say anything just yet.
Yeah.
But I will encourage you that when ticket sales go, you go out there and you get them and you make your way to California, because it's about to be a poppin' weekend.
I mean, from where I'm sitting, it sounds like a mix of agenda, magic trade shows, and then you have, of course, Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And maybe like an NAB, but an entertainment and something for our generation that I haven't really seen covered. So I just find it very interesting because there hasn't been anything for our generation such as Complex Con. So I salute y'all.
Yes, thank you so much. And to all you entrepreneurs out there, if you are in St. Louis and you want to be a part of Complex Con, please hit me up. Later on, I guess I'll give you my social media and my email and all that stuff, because we are looking for vendors to be a part of Complex Con, as well as like lifestyle brands, and I guess that's the same as vendors. But
everybody, for sure.
So if you have a brand that needs exposure and you are willing to fly out to California, then the opportunity is there, and I'm ready to connect with my people. So
that's what it is. Now, moving from, you said, of course, working in the corporate world with Complex, a lot of big things are happening with them, such as Complex Con, but such big things are happening with you as well on your personal brand.
Yes.
And entrepreneurship is big nowadays. I love to see it with our generation. You know what I mean? I do refrain from using the word millennials a lot. In my personal, time. I mean, when people like to bring it up and explain our generation, it is what it is, but I just say our generation. I'm sorry.
Right.
I have a fascination with the word millennials. I'm sorry. But no, talk more about entrepreneurship, because like I said, I think it's very key.
Yes.
Now,
so for me, it's been a lot of like studying like the road that you want to go down, and like every day I take time out of my day to like write down my goals. So that for me, that's the most important thing, is writing down like what I need to achieve that day, and then also like long term, what is it that I need to achieve, because that's how I manage my own expectations, and that's how I make sure that I'm going to get things done. Because being an entrepreneur is not easy. There is no set blueprint. Like a lot of people think that, oh, you go to college, you do this, you do that. But it's really about hustling. It's really about like figuring out what works for you. And so what I've learned is like reading a lot of books from like L.A. Reid to like Russell Simmons, all these people that I like admire and look up to. I read their books and I take a little bit of that and I, say, what can I add to my own empire? You
apply it.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Now, for those who are listening right now, or watching rather, What points could you give them when they're starting a business and they're self-starters and they're like, I don't know anybody. I don't know how to get to these, these doors. Like, can you kind of tell them like how you went from St. Louis to New York? Because a lot of people ask me that, how'd you go from VA? How'd you get here? Why'd you pick St. Louis? And more about the opportunities, what I tell them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So share your story.
So I would definitely encourage everyone to be passionate about something first. Like, if you know that you talkative, maybe radio, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, figure out what you're good at. And then when you figure out what you're good at, like, just take time to look at different career paths. For me, it was always music. I always loved music, but I was like, I don't really want to sing. I'm a little shy. I don't know about that. But I might want to work behind the scenes and work in the music business. So I took a lot of time to research like what those roles were. Like, I took the time to look at the back of a CD and see like, okay, who's the label? Who are the people? And I started researching. And that's like the same thing if you like in school, like if you're in college, like you research whatever it is that you need to know so that you can get closer to knowledge or understanding rather. So I did that. And then when I was in college, I went to Mizzou. So when I was in college, my junior year, I went up to New York and I'm just like, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm going to look around. I'm going to figure some stuff out. I'm going to print out some resumes. And at that time, I had applied to work at ASCAP, which if you are an artist, you should know what ASCAP is or BMI is, because that's how you're going to get those publishing checks.
That's when you know you're a real artist in the game. Yeah. Publishing.
So major key right there. So I wanted to work on that side first. And then when I was there, I was just like, but I really want to see Def Jam. So I had a very like interesting interaction like that same day. And it's funny that I just said major key because I ended up bumping into DJ Khaled. And I'm dressed up in a suit and I'm like trying to figure out I'm thinking it's all corporate, and I realized quickly on it wasn't. So I ran into a guy that worked at Def Jam and I asked him like, yo, like, can I come up? Can I bring my resume up? And we had a mutual friend and he was like, yeah, I'll show you the business. I mean, the building rather. I'm sorry. I'll show you the building. So when I went in, like, I'm just looking around like, wow, I'm seeing like Jay-Z on the wall. I'm seeing Rihanna on the wall. I'm seeing Jeezy. I'm seeing everybody that I listen to. And in that moment, I'm like, this is what I want to do. But I didn't even know how to move forward from there. But being ready, I had my resume and I sat down with the lady, and my raw passion is what like got me into the business, because I just wanted it so much that it just seems like it was pulling towards me. And so from there, like that summer, I ended up interning at Def Jam Records, and that was the summer of 2011. And that summer was like amazing. Like I did everything from running errands to sitting in marketing meetings to actually running full campaigns, and planning out what the artist is going to do at his listening event, and like literally being in those meetings with these executives, these big time people and the artists and everything. And it was just like wow to me. And then that summer when I had to go back to St. Louis, I'm like, dang, like that, that little bit of a taste, I need more. So I graduated from Mizzou, and then after that I moved back to New York, and I started working at Bad Boy, and it just everything. It
was a never look back type of deal.
Never look back, yeah.
And along the way, you know what I mean? Like, because we've had convos, it's like, at times you're like, okay, I'm getting frustrated. I want to move. I want to get, you know what I mean? But I've had those same thoughts in my career path. So I think that's just a test of faith to anybody going through that. Is what I'm really trying to get to. Is like people always have convos with me, and not, like, oh, I'm having this issue, I'm having this problem. But I'm like, yo, if you could really do the best to see your way through it, man, the possibilities are endless on the other side. Like, you're really going to be rewarded for it. I really believe in that.
I do too. I mean, there was moments where I wanted to give up. Like, everybody know New York is expensive. You know what I'm saying? So when I first got there, I'm hustling. I'm not really making the type of money I want to make. I'm doing freelance jobs. Like, I can't even tell you like how much hustling I was doing. Like I DJ, but at that time my equipment wasn't there. So I'm like trying to borrow other people's stuff. I'm just out here doing everything that I possibly could. At one moment, I had got a job at Aldo. Like I worked there for one day. And like that same night.
Is that on purpose, or you was like, nah?
No, I'm about to tell you how the story played out. So I was like, this is just so expensive, but I'm so passionate about staying in New York and hustling it out. I'm about to get this job at Aldo. And when I get it, I'm about to be the best saleswoman here. So I got it. That one day I sold like the most sales like they had ever seen. And that same night I got a call from Mona Scott Young. And I left my job at Aldo, rushed all the way downtown Manhattan to meet her, and didn't even get back to my apartment till 4 o'clock in the morning. And that was another like test of faith type of situation because I couldn't even believe it. Like, and I knew who she was before loving hip hop. Like, a lot of people don't know. Like, she managed Missy Elliott. You know, she's responsible for the careers of Busta Rhymes, LL Cool J, people like that. And like that goes back to me saying that research. People are not hip to that.
Yeah, major part of Violator. For those who don't know, just type in Violator management. Rest in peace, Chris Lighty. Like, Mona Scott has been a major figure in the culture for a long time.
Definitely.
Not just reality TV. Folks.
Get to know it. Get into it. Study. Research people. And I encourage people to do their research because you never know who you'll meet. And even in St. Louis, like, you don't have to wait till you in New York or Atlanta, wherever you go. Like, it starts right here at home. Like, you go out and you make sure that you networking with people and you building relationships, because that's the most key thing I've learned through being in this industry. It's like building relationships. And I never knew what that meant, because coming from St. Louis, like, I ain't finna be fake and be nobody's friend just because I ain't doing that.
It's
like
the same attitude back home, man. Like I tell a lot of people, like, man, my friends, my real like neighborhood friends, man. Some of them, not all of them, but like a few of them, man. Like outside of a 10-mile radius, feel uncomfortable in conversations, and that's just at home. Yeah. Let alone in other situations. Yeah. So go ahead. My bad.
No. It's one of those things where it's very hard to do and putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. But when I moved to New York and I would go to these different events, like, I would tell myself, before I leave, I need to meet 3 new people. So that was my personal goal for myself. Like I said, I make goals for myself daily. And back in the day, I used to say, like, if I can meet 3 new people, you know, at some point, these people are going to be able to call on for like advice, or some people I might meet may be a great friend. And then other people might be like, yo, I got a job for you. And because that's just the nature of the business. Like, if you have great work ethic and you're passionate and you're gonna, like, it shows. And people gonna hear your name, and before you know it, you'll be like, dang, like, is this really happening? So
I mean, that's really my story as well. It's just, if you show you want it, if you show the drive and initiative, and you know you've done the research and the knowledge, man, like, I'm not gonna say it's always gonna come together perfectly, but it should, and it's gonna make your chance of it happening much greater.
That's very true. I believe in, like, just, I don't know, like, you gravitating towards things that make sense for your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were the girl in high school that always liked fashion and had to dress up every day, maybe you should see if you could be a stylist, or, like, you know, no dream is like too big.
Not at all.
That's what I think. But
because somebody has to do these things. Like, you think about it, like, if you in school and you watching somebody 10, 15 years older than you, then 10, 15 years later, you might be that person doing it if you really want to do it. So please, like, just know it's really possible. It's that real.
It is.
Especially now when you on these damn phones with the world at your fingertips. So
right. I always say, like, if I was just a little bit younger and I came in a different generation, like, I'd be out here. I mean, I'm out here now, but the kids have it so much better than we had it. We didn't have Instagram or, like, Google.
Nah, they come from the womb with technology.
Yeah, we didn't have that. We had them crazy big computers. And,
it was fat.
Yeah.
Had 1 megabyte on it. Now you got that on your phone.
We had Snake. Y'all don't even know what Snake is.
Man, floppy disk. They don't know about that life.
Oh my gosh, floppy disk.
Yeah, they don't know about that life. They don't know what's going on with that. Suchabosslady.com, though. Let people know if they haven't visited the site what it entails. You know, that's a real brand, and you stand on that. So
yes, I do.
Tell them about it.
So Suchabosslady.com is something that I started back when I was in college in 2012. It kind of came from my friends calling me, like, boss lady. And then from there, it was going to be like my portfolio. But then I decided that I wanted to interview a producer. And just like I said earlier, it's about the behind the scenes of the entertainment industry and shedding that light on people who don't know what those jobs are, and just giving people another outlet for, if they work behind the scenes, like, they need exposure too. A lot of times you see on the blogs, like, Beyonce, what is the, but you don't see Beyonce's stylist. You know what I'm saying? The person who put her in those clothes, and not to say, you know, throw shots at B. I love B. You know what I'm saying? But it's so many other jobs in the realm of entertainment that people don't know about. So that's basically what my website is here to do. I also, like, go to, like, a lot of red carpet events and, you know, first looks at movies and all of that kind of stuff. And I share that kind of stuff on my website too. But my main, like, underlying thing is to show, like, behind the scenes and, like, the ins and outs of the business, and trying to sit down with, like, people who've worked in it and just them sharing their experience so other people can go and like be inspired. Like that's really my hope, is just that people can be inspired and educate themselves on what kind of career opportunities there are out there. And like now I'm actually like working on doing something where people can go to my site and they can kind of get like partner with the company. Like I want to be able to like train people. Like I do a lot of consulting with artists and people who are building their own brand. So now I'm trying to move into that place where I can work with people who want to work in a certain industry, and they can come to me and I can help them out and I can help them get closer to what it is that they want to do. And I say that because I didn't have that. You know, I just hustled out. And some people ain't going to be like me. They ain't going to just be like, I'm about to get up and move. I not understand that. So I'm trying to help bridge that gap. So my website is there to bridge the gap between the behind the scenes and everything that you see, as well as for those people that want to work behind the scenes or on the scene and they just don't know how. So that's what suchabosslady.com is here to do.
It is right there. I like that, man. Give them that social media real quick.
Yeah,
so
my social media is HULE Boss Lady. Again, that's HULE Boss Lady on the gram. On my Snapchat is Aris Willie. Yeah, you can visit the website suchabosslady.com.
And there it is, yo. I'm proud of you. First off,
thank
you
you so much.
Note,
thank you, bro.
I really, really appreciate
thank
seeing that growth. You know what I mean? It's real.
Yeah.
So I want to be out there November 5th and 6th for Complex.
You come out there.
Yeah, I'm out there.
You come out there.
Yeah.
I got you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And salute to the whole Complex team. My boy Zach P. Chops, what's up, boy?
Okay.
That's my people. You know,
Chops.
Chops, what up, Chops? Moving out there. He having a hell of a summer. His calves on the one and all that.
Yes.
He living, man. So salute to everybody at Complex. Salute you. I appreciate you coming up here once again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You know, it's Hot 104.1.